Good evening, everyone. My name is Scott. I am nowhere near as cool as these two, Churchson. Alongside me is Mr. Davion Boosie, rocking it out in the hat and the glasses. And down below is Mr. Ryan. Do not ever call him Brian. We just had this conversation, O'Regan. And welcome to Tales from the Film Set on Spanglish World Network, Zingo TV, channel 249 and 250. One quick thing, make sure to download the Zingo TV app on the app stores of iOS and Android. When you download, make sure to rate and leave a comment. Both apps are free. And lastly, Zingo TV is also available on Google Chromecast, Amazon Fire, Fire TV sticks, Roku sticks, and all smart TVs 2016 and forward. Next time, I'm going to try and speed that up a little bit. Gentlemen, how the hell are you?
Oh, it's a hot one this week, man. It's like summer is here, even though technically it's not.
Well, summer, yeah, it's like a week away, but that's New Jersey for you. On one hand, you could have 50-degree temperatures and freeze your ass off, and then literally like 5 hours later, it's 95 degrees and you're schwitzing.
Yeah, I can see why a lot of companies want to go ahead and open up studios here, because the weather.
Good point, yes. Yeah, Netflix has got to open it up. Lionsgate's open it up. I don't know. Supposedly
there was one other one.
What's that?
There was one other one, right? There was a third one that was happening.
Yeah, there's a couple. I mean, De Niro's got one opening up in Queens someplace.
Yeah.
But
you notice how it's pretty much just like all around the waterbed. It's like I'm hoping we get like some water-based action.
Mm-hmm.
I know the biggest one that up until the one that's going to possibly be in Jersey, if the bid is taken, theirs is like over in New Mexico or Arizona or somewhere out there where it's like nothing but dry land.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping they utilize the coastline, the waterway, make it a little bit of a spectacle. Let people like go through on the boats or drive by and actually see some stuff happening.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what'll happen probably with a lot of the movie theaters, or I'm sorry, the movie studios, what they'll do is they may bounce around. So there was something I was reading the other day. They're filming it in New Jersey, New Mexico, and like Chicago. So whatever they basically need. I mean, even if you look at Stranger Things, that was Atlanta, New Mexico, and Bosnia.
So, I mean, I wonder what parts were from Bosnia.
I think probably the California stuff with Argyle. Yeah, that was the Bosnia stuff.
Not the Russia stuff. That was Georgia. That was straight Georgia.
No. Actually, they filmed that stuff in Idaho. Right where they filmed Napoleon Dynamite, by the way. So, all right. So anyway, today, basically on Tales from the Film Set, guess what? We are spoiling the heck out of Jurassic World Dominion. Fair warning ahead of time. There will be spoilers, hence the reason why we're saying we're spoiling it. Jurassic World Dominion, at this point, basically has been released. It is now the 6th, dear God in heaven, Jurassic World movie that we have had so far.
145 million opening weekend, not too shabby.
Yeah. And, it's basically what you kind of expect from a Jurassic World movie or Jurassic Park movie. There'll be dinosaurs. There'll be basically people that are better looking than I am. And a bunch of people running for their lives and nondescript, unimportant characters basically being eaten. Does that pretty much sum it up, Ryan?
You could also throw in Mission Impossible / Fast and Furious based chase scenes, which, fits, I guess.
You look at these movies, this somehow or other, I don't know how, but this is the 6th Jurassic Park movie across the board. And obviously it's unique because you can see the blending of both worlds. You got the original group on the left side of the image, for example, and you got the new group on the right side. And that's the biggest selling point.
My question to everybody, because I didn't see the film.
Okay.
Is the girl on the right next to Chris Pines, is that the girl that played Jeff Goldblum's daughter, adopted daughter in the other film?
First of all, it's Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt. Sorry.
Chris Pine is Captain James T. Kirk.
Yes.
Okay.
And
that's Andy Dwyer
for the love of God, there are more than one black person in the Jurassic Park movies. That is not his daughter.
No, I know.
That is a brand new original character. You could essentially say that she is the new bright-eyed, bushy-tailed member of this franchise who is completely shocked by everything, even though everyone else has lived through it multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, in this case here, it's been a few years since Jurassic World, well, Jurassic World 2, we'll call it. So the dinosaurs have lived amongst humans for like the last 3 or 4 years. So anything that's here doesn't surprise people anyway, because, you go out and mow your grass and there's a Tyrannosaurus walking down the block. So
yeah, that's one thing that kind of pissed me off about the movie. Like, if you figure there was going to be a sequel based upon how Fallen Kingdom ended, everything being released, and you see like the pterodactyls flying as they're driving along the coastline and stuff like that, you figure like we'd be seeing the direct aftermath and the mass hysteria and the confusion
sure.
and trying to figure out how this is going to work. But no, we're already like 2 years into this. So you'd figure it would be like a little bit more, okay, people would have adjusted better. And yet, no, still there's like supreme freakouts and people acting just normal. All of a sudden, these dinosaurs are flying. Well, it's been 2 years. What are we going to... It's almost like an allegory for the pandemic, when you really think about it. And it's just like, no, it's still out there. They're coming by. They're swooping out your doves as you're having your outdoor wedding. Why are you so not prepared?
Yeah, part of me was almost wondering this movie's going to start out with like some kind of massive war, where you see the military just firing at pterodactyls, for example. Because you know what? It wouldn't surprise us if dinosaurs started actually reaching mainland. The military is coming out to stop that stuff. Sorry, I can't swear on Zynga. Sorry.
Provided that the government doesn't go ahead and just like, oh, well, they're an endangered species. We have to protect them. We have to give them their own environment. And they can eat you.
Exactly. Yeah. This storyline has reached a point where the Tyrannosaurus is like mid-level dinosaur. Remember, how big and dangerous the Tyrannosaurus was in like the first movie and how it ended up in the day. At this point,
I mean, of the lizard, yes.
No, but now it's like
with every movie the king gets dethroned.
Dude, it's like middle management now, because you had the Spinosaurus in the third one, which by the way was a terrible, terrible movie. And then they just kept getting bigger. I think the Jurassic World 5 or we'll call it Jurassic Park 5. They had the one that just ate a whale just arbitrarily because it was just that freaking big. And then
it's not even that, but then they started getting like freaky science sci-fi channel movie-esque with these things where it's like genetically mutated mutants and these dinosaurs that are like hybrids of other ones and have human brains and know how to open up a door like a raptor. But it's like
they added a lot of pretty much splicing into it.
Oh yeah.
It became super science as opposed to just fantastical.
Well, see, it jumped the shark hardcore when the last episode, by the way, spoilers of the fifth movie, when they started actually black market selling the dinosaurs as WMDs. I think that's like the lowest point this franchise could ever have imagined going.
Oh, no, because I am still upset that even 6 movies in, we still don't have any dino riders. How, of all the franchises, do we not have dino riders? Strap some missiles to the back of these things.
I'm trying to keep a straight face when he said that. I'm sorry.
Just ride them out.
How
do we not have that?
You know what? Chris Pratt's character could have ridden Blue. He raised Blue. There was a connection there. That's in the first Jurassic World movie when you had him on the motorcycle riding alongside the Velociraptor. That was a cool scene. You got to admit that was actually really impressive.
Yeah, I don't think Pratt could have ridden Blue because still with dinosaurs and everything, because they are bird oriented, the bones are a little more hollow than people probably think. So he might be. But I would have loved to have seen the girl ride Blue or ride one of the raptors.
You mean the clone?
The clone / dead daughter / not retconned her like something out of like Star Wars. The second movie set this up and they retconned it in the third. It's like I don't care what she is. All I know is she's part dino to some extent.
And she's James Cromwell's like replacement for his dead kid or something like that.
Yeah, and they revamped that in this movie. So it's like here's the thing. As an overall popcorn movie, it's fine. It's fine. It's silly, dumb CGI dino entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
But if this is supposed to be the final part of the franchise, if this is supposed to be the final Jurassic movie, you could have streamlined it a little bit better. Like the whole thing with the locusts. What was that?
Yeah, there was like killer hornets that were genetically created in a lab.
It's like at this point now it's just
Murder hornet.
genetically made dinos. Now it's genetically made insects that are gonna eat all of your crops and are created by this evil organization called Biosyn, which of course
Yeah.
it has sin in the name, so ooh, scary. And
Which
it
okay,
feels like we're
yeah.
gonna get like the plagues of Egypt put upon us or something.
And knowing what Ian Malcolm was, why would he ever work for a company like that?
Oh, but he was a spy.
Dude, you know what his resume was? He got blasted between the first and the second Jurassic Park movies for telling the world dinosaurs existed. He lost all credibility because of that. And of course, obviously, he was proven true. But, somebody like that who would risk exposure, somebody like that who predicted what this would be, the chaos, he would not work. No company would actually look at him and be like, yes, I trust you, Ian Malcolm. Why don't you come work for us? The past is the past. No, they'd be like, I can find 25 guys just like you that would take half your salary and I wouldn't have to worry about you.
Wow.
It became to the point where it's too stockpiled with things. And even if you think it ends on like a decent note, it doesn't necessarily leave me feeling satisfied.
Mm.
Yeah.
I mean, here's my thing. There are rumors that exist that this is not the last movie in the franchise. That they may, in fact, do a Jurassic Galaxy. Dude, listen, they're making.
No, Doctor Who already did that with dinosaurs on a spaceship. All right, that was the Matt Smith era.
Which respect, that was one of Chris Chibnall's better episodes. I'm not a big fan of Chibnall's writing, but I did enjoy that one because you knew right off the bat what you're going to get with that.
Well, wait, did Chibnall write that or was that Moffat?
No, Chibnall wrote that episode.
Oh, wow.
Because he only wrote 4 episodes for Doctor Who across the board. And like I said, you knew right up front what this is going to be. It had Matt Williams as Rory's dad, so he was always a good ad. No, I like that episode specifically. So in this case, I don't know. I mean, if you saw the post-credit scene, spoiler in this case, it does leave it open possibly to another movie, but the fact that the dinosaurs, and I'm spoiling this right now in 3, 2, 1, the fact that the dinosaurs have learned to coexist with humanity and everybody's getting along, and it's the mega happy ending, they're
coexist
is the way that they're going to say it, which basically, let's figure out a way to coexist with a T-Rex that's basically eating your dog. By the way, second movie. I don't see it. I don't know. I mean, I don't see that piece lasting. And if there's money to be made, yes, they will figure out some way to make a Dear God in Heaven 7th Jurassic Park movie.
Jesus God, no. Jesus God, no. No.
No. What's that?
And I get eaten by a raptor or something.
Dude, I mean, where do you go from here? That's what I'm saying.
Jurassic Kingdom, free admission. I don't know.
Jurassic Galaxy, Jurassic Multiverse. I mean, do we start pulling that in here?
When dinosaurs start coming in from another world and they're talking. In our universe,
that would be creepy.
the humans are the ones that went extinct.
Gosh. Oh dear God in heaven, look at those humans. So basically you got like the multiverse that you had with the Super Mario Brothers movie 30 years ago, where you have this alternate dimension where dinosaurs exist and you have
Resurrect Dennis Hopper and like CGI him into the movie.
Oh God, no.
Well, speaking of, Chris Pratt's in the new Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yes.
Let's do the Goomba.
Let's go. Let's go to Jurassic Park.
Mario, we
and where's my pizza?
How knew this?
Luigi, go ride the Velociraptor. It's like a Yoshi.
Are you sure, Mario?
I don't know.
Yet another reason he couldn't ride the Raptor, because people would meme the hell out of that.
Oh God, I've officially lost it.
It would just be like a gif of him running on top of Blue, and they would be like,
Ripper.
Besides it being a boy, he's a girl.
Is Yoshi a girl?
No, Yoshi's a boy.
I don't know.
Yoshi doesn't wear a bow, so it's not a girl. due to
Oh yes, it's the
Nintendo
Pac-Man
canon.
thing. Yes, as we learned in Wayne's World, that's how we tell the difference between Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man.
Right.
Yes. All right. So, Ryan, worth it? Not worth it? What do you think?
Is there better things in the theater to see? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you've seen all that, then fine, go ahead and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how it's going to do in its second week, considering Lightyear is coming out this weekend. So that's definitely going to be some comparable competition as far as families are concerned. And then the following weekend after that, you get the new Minions movie. So this is probably going to be one of those flash in the pan sort of things, since it's done well for an opening weekend, maybe not as well as other versions of the franchise from previous years. So I could see this being the end. I could see them maybe taking a couple of years to revamp it, maybe get some new cast in there as opposed to the OG originals or Chris Pratt and what's her face that likes to run in heels. But yeah, if you
Bryce
need a
Howard.
stupid movie, go ahead and see the stupid movie, but check to see what else is available first.
Ow.
So when it comes to
Ow.
if you got HBO Max, you got it that way. Watch it that way, and pause when you want to.
Shots fired, ladies.
Yeah.
and gentlemen.
Also, by the way, conveniently, spoiler in this case, Ellie Sadler's divorced at this point. Things didn't work out between her and her congressman husband. Funny,
Who cares?
she's single and hey, so is Alan Grant. I wonder what that's going to mean.
Look, nothing against Ellie Sadler. She hasn't mattered since the first movie.
Hey, she did save the day at the end of the third
At
one.
least Dr. Grant had Jurassic Park 3, as bad as it was with the talking raptor. Ellen, it had something.
Alan. Well, see, also at the end of that, using their Velociraptor skull to communicate with the Velociraptors. The funny thing about that movie, they started filming. This is usually not a good sign ever. They started filming Jurassic Park 3 without having an ending script for it, and rarely does that ever work out. One example where it did. Good.
I guess that kind of becomes a question for us actors. Now, if you're working on something and you find out that it's still a work in progress while you're on set, while you're part of the production on any filming day, does that concern you, considering you don't know how things are going to end, whether for your character or for the movie as a whole?
I think it does. I think not knowing where things are going can also affect. If you get the entire script ahead of time, if this is something like any of the Marvel stuff where you get your snippet, that's all you get accepted for what it is. But if you don't know the full scope of your character, I think Anthony Hopkins is an example. He used to read a script top to bottom 10 or 15 times to really fully grasp it. If you don't have that ending, you don't know necessarily how to portray the beginning and the middle. And I think it could affect things. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Day, any insight on your end?
I was a huge Jurassic Park fan throughout the times, even when I was a little kid. So
Sorry, I wasn't laughing at you being a Jurassic Park fan.
well, whatever.
That's not what I meant.
I was laughing with you, not at you. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Blame the
But-
Slurpee. Blame the Slurpee.
But be honest with you, it's okay.
Well, after hearing us, since you're the one that hasn't seen it, are you still going to see it regardless?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
I like
well,
it.
that's fine. I can respect you being a diehard fan and wanting to still see the series out, despite what the critics have said. Obviously, there's still a market for it. Otherwise, it wouldn't have made triple digits this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. So pretty much, I would say, I'm definitely going to see it to fill that void. To basically not say, "Oh, I'm going to follow what everybody else is saying," but at the same time, I have to watch it because it got to be some type of collection. It's just like having a Funko Pop. You got that crappy one or that crappy Ranger you don't want, and he crappy, but he has to complete the collection. That's what that is.
It's like that that really bad DVD sequel in the group.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or actually, I got something I got to show you. I just got this the other day.
Uh-oh.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
I was over at my parents' house, and
Okay,
in the
make your bets
garage,
now as to what he has.
in the garage, you'll appreciate this.
Oh God, no!
Is that? Oh snap!
Yep.
Wow.
Atari.
The minute I saw the silver casing, I knew.
Yeah, the game is in here. The instruction manual, an advertisement for Raiders of the Lost Ark, with a not Harrison Ford on that. Tips to get ET Home Fest. The whole shebang is here. This is nothing compared to
Hold on. That thing had an instruction manual.
Yeah, it actually had two. So it's got the full size one right here. And then if you want tips and tricks on how to actually get through it, you have this guy right here too.
I'm sorry. No. Okay. As someone that played that game, there is nothing you could tell me that would help.
Dude, I know. It was so friggin'
My
convoluted.
sister got the Atari when she was younger. And when I became of age and before my mom wanted to spend any money on a game system, she handed me down the Atari.
Wow.
So I
And in
had
good
that, I had
condition.
Asteroids, I had all that before I had anything Nintendo or Sega oriented.
Mhm.
And I played that ET game. I tried that ET game. I
Yeah.
fell down so many holes and it meant nothing.
And kept dying.
All I kept seeing was the clock turn off. I was like, okay, what can I do before it hits zero? How many different things can I do? Will it matter? I
And
had
then-
a better time playing Popeye. And all I was doing was just like, catching spinach as it was thrown at me.
But I was over my parents like a week or so ago, and I saw that. I'm like, "Do you mind if I take that?" And they're like, "You want it? Why do you want it?" It's like, "Well, you can put it on the bar." They're like, "All right, fine," And then it's like I had to bring that out right now. Also,
Isn't it yours?
let's say, oh yeah, it's ours. This was the one that I played when I was a kid, back in the early '80s. So
I am so glad my mom's basement flooded so that all of it could go.
There's a couple more Atari games, and also there's RCA games over there, which was a black and white system that predated the Atari. So I've got like baseball and a slot racer game over there. It was the RCA Odyssey, or the RCA System 2, I think was to call it. But yes,
Was that the one that actually had the Pong things with the twister?
Yeah. That was
Okay, yeah, I
Pong.
think my uncle had that.
But yeah, in this case here, my pride and joy, the original ET that my family has had for like 40 some years. Instructions fell on the floor. I'll have to get that later. But
You're putting quotes on that pride and joy part, right?
dude, hardcore. But you know what? The fact that I have the one from my when I was like 5 is kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie.
It is, and I'm sure to some collectors it's probably worth a current amount of money if you ever decided to part with it. But
if you look at all the crap that I got back there, I mean, I got the Vectrex system back there and everything else. Wow. It was like, I have to add this. My mother-in-law thinks I'm crazy, but you know what? That's fine.
And she's right, but still.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
But here's another thing, guys. Since we're showing things, I'm probably most likely going to show the audience this. So, for New York Comic Con.
Hang on. We're going to have to do this right. So, come on. Close that out. I want to put this. I'm going to put the camera right on you as we build this up here. Dun 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 dun.
Wow!
Look at Sky learning the system.
Yeah, coming along.
So, I did say I'm going to cosplay, and I told people that look, I am going to dress up as Ghostface with the platinum mask for Comic-Con. I haven't decided the day, but I will. It's either going to be Friday or Saturday. And I said I was going to dress up as Red Hood.
Okay. Yes, you did say that.
But I never told which Red Hood. Am I going to be the 52 version or the typical?
Are you going to be the modern Red Hood or the one that looks like a gel capsule?
I'm going to look like the modern one because I have the mask that came to the meeting.
Yeah, let me close that out so I can actually zoom in a little bit more that way. Nice.
Okay.
All right.
Nice and simplistic.
Actually, it looks like something out of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, that's
I was
pretty
about
much.
to say it looks like you might be more of like a
Ermac.
What is that? The Noob Saibot, or which one was red?
Ermac was the red one. Yeah.
But the way they did it was, if you read the 52, he has this mask, but he has like a regular hoodie with a crowbar and the logo Red Hood. So
Mhm.
I am gonna dress up as this. The only thing I gotta do is find the red wristband tapes to wrap around my wrist. I already
Home
got the
Depot.
gloves. And I had to get my contacts, so I had to go see the eye doctor to make
Mhm.
sure I get all my collections for eye contacts, so I could basically not walk around with my glasses on.
That's fair. Well, that would lose the illusion anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so wait, all it is just a red hoodie now?
It's something like that. Once you look at the 52 comic book, he wears nothing but the red hoodie. If it's a way that I can share.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's okay. I always like the actual helmet with the red leather jacket look, but
But the issue with the helmet is the fact that if you do find something like that, sometimes it make it feel like it's bigger than your head. So it's like, yeah, why am I wearing this?
okay, so you become a Funko version. That's fine, but
What? I don't want to be like.
I don't want to be that. No.
you be Chibi Red Hood. Be bobblehead.
It's okay,
Yes, don't listen to them. They're mean.
Yes.
Yes, I am.
Yes. Yeah, you're like, yes, I am, and I take pride in that. My name is Ryan O'Regan. You can find me down below at Real Ordeal.
Yes.
Brian, sorry.
Which, by the way, did you guys have anything else planned for tonight's episode? Because
Oh,
there was something
yeah.
I wanted to like interject.
Yeah, no, actually, I just was letting you guys roll, but I did have something else that I wanted to just kibitz on.
All right.
Okay.
So in this case, I want to mention the fact that, and this has been announced, that for the 60th anniversary special for Doctor Who, the greatest villain the Doctor has ever faced has been announced.
I am so right now. Like,
Are you ready?
yes. Da da da.
That is not the actual villain. That's just a picture of him.
But no, it has been announced in this case that the greatest enemy the Doctor has ever faced will in fact be the guy who played Doogie Howser in the three Harold and Kumar movies. Yes. So Neil Patrick Harris has been announced and has joined the cast or the group of characters in the 60th anniversary special for Doctor Who. I'm curious in this case to see what ends up happening there, but in Russell we trust.
What if he does show up as Dr. Horrible?
Dude, that'd be awesome. You know,
No,
if you tie
I was
Doctor,
actually thinking about it because for you to get somebody like Neil Patrick Harris, is this possibly Doctor Who's first musical episode?
he is good. He is great at musicals. My God, he is ever.
Yes.
Well, especially if you're going to go ahead and incorporate people like David Tennant and Catherine Tate, who I believe at the end of Tennant's spiel, they did that internet musical video of how Russell T Davies went ahead and rebooted Doctor Who.
Well, they did 500.
We know they have singing talents, and we know that Davies is musically inclined.
They do have basically, if you ever go on YouTube for David Tennant's time, they did a full thing across 3 years of the characters where they did 500 miles, the song. I would walk 500, and it had the cast, it had the crew, it had everybody down to like the core background people, the catering people. Everybody was involved in this thing, you know. So that would be awesome, you know. Okay, let's see what we can do here.
What?
Do not fear, do not be afraid. It's time now once again for Doctor Who.
Oh no!
Actually, no, I don't like that way I did that one. So he's Doctor Who. It's through and through. It's Doctor Who. It's through and through. What are we going to do for Doctor Who?
You're gonna force me to watch Jurassic World again.
I don't know.
Jurassic World. It's the sixth in the franchise. The people that saw the film will go and wish they died.
Chris Pratt saved me.
And he's holding a Star-Lord figure. Hey, Orion got a...
When did I become the sober one here? What is this? My God. Oh, what? Oh,
Red
what
wine
universe?
earlier.
Oh,
Ginger ale.
Well, actually, speaking of that, I mean, they continue to talk about Guardians of the Galaxy 3. When, if, will they, where it's going to be. I wonder in this case, let me ask you this. Do you think when Guardians 3 comes out, is anybody going to really care?
Yes.
oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
more than likely, some of them are leaving the franchise. We already know Dave Bautista is done with Guardians after this
Yeah.
movie.
And
we don't know if
also
there's anyone else. And
Rocket.
considering the franchise itself, it is one of the few franchises that have had key people die during the
Rocket.
movie, i.e. Yondu.
Rocket.
But I think he said Rocket. I think he said that.
Yeah, Rocket Raccoon.
Yeah, I heard.
I could see leaving. He's had one of the more emotional arcs, but still, I could see him leaving. I could see Mantis leaving because if Drax is going to be gone, she's probably going to follow.
Could be.
Could be.
And plus, we don't know who else is being added. He said that the Guardians, as of this movie, will be forever changed. So it's going to be a different lineup.
That is true. It would be kind of like when it had went from Avengers 1 to the end of Avengers 2.
It might change from Guardians to the Infinity Watch since Warlock's going to be in it now. Who knows? But that's kind of what you have to do now. We've already gone through the Infinity Saga. If anything, Phase 4 has all been about changing and upgrading with the times. We've seen it with multiple heroes. We've seen it with Hawkeye getting a replacement, Captain America getting a replacement, Hulk's going to soon have a replacement. Iron Man's got Ironheart. That's also going to be another Disney Plus series that's coming down the line. So I wouldn't be surprised if like half these people don't show up even more. Even Chris Pratt. I could see Star-Lord leaving. Pretty much any one of these people could leave, except maybe Groot.
No, Star-Lord is probably going to stay.
Who knows? I mean, don't forget, Star-Lord wasn't even part of the original Guardians of the Galaxy when they were first put into the comics.
But he's a draw. He's a draw.
Chris Pratt is a draw. I mean, obviously, we looked at Jurassic World. We just talked about that.
He's a draw, yeah. But if you remember from the second movie, they also had the other team of Ravagers with Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing that with, who was that? Michelle Yeoh. You had Miley Cyrus as the talking head. You had Michael Rosenbaum as that like glass-looking creature. That's a nice, tidy little team right there. I wouldn't mind seeing that.
So, but here's my question. I mean, I'm with you. I think that Chris Pratt is probably done after Guardians 3, because after a while you start to really wonder. You got a new cast all the way through. You also don't know if Marvel's going to be willing to pony up the money for him if somebody else is coming up on the way up.
Well, plus he's getting a lot of voiceover gigs now too. So I mean, he's already going to be in enough franchises as it is. If Jurassic World is truly ending, period, and they're not going to make another one, then obviously he's already out of that.
He can make a cameo and hand it off. That is something I would see them do.
He's already making a cameo in Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's riding out his movies as much as he can. That's the thing about Disney. Just because they sign you on for a certain amount of movies doesn't mean that every single one of those movies is going to be in your franchise. It means you'd probably do something else Disney. It means you make a cameo somewhere else. They have you for so many films, period.
That is true.
And additionally, also, obviously, there's all the animated stuff, like What If, for example. I mean, he could easily just pop into a recording studio and do a What If where you have Star-Lords from multiple dimensions here, or what if it ended up being one of the other ego kids that survived and became Star-Lord, and it wasn't Chris Pratt. It wasn't, the one from Earth. It was one from, say, Terra Nova or something like that. That is possible as well.
Yeah.
So
that's the beautiful thing about the cosmic part of the MCU. There's a lot more available, and there's a lot more possibility than there is on Earth now. So sky's the limit, literally.
Now, who
Yeah.
out of this group do you see staying?
Groot.
Groot could stay.
Groot's the moneymaker. Groot, they got to keep on for the toys and everything.
Okay.
You know, Mantis, I think, could stay.
Again, if Drax is going, I think Mantis is going. I think they've worked up the storyline to them having a relationship.
Maybe. I mean, but here's the thing: of the characters, forgetting that, you know, I would almost consider that Mantis would stay and become the new leader. I could see them doing that. I could see Disney going that direction.
Or Nebula. Nebula.
Maybe. You know, Zoe Saldana might be too big for it, though, for a full reboot.
Well, I mean, she's got the Avatar stuff to worry about now, too.
True.
And not only that, she can come and go because right now they don't know where she is, so she could still be on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's obviously going to be more the story for number 3. It's like them finding Gamora, finding the green one after so long.
Green Giant, yes. But yeah, I think Rocket's done. Groot, I mean, honestly, that's Vin Diesel just pops into a studio and just says, "I am Groot" like 27 times and goes home. You know, and it's, by the way, it's DIESEL on the check, not DEI. Let's get that right.
Terrible.
I mean, honestly, have you ever seen in like history an easier voiceover gig ever for like a massively known actor?
Oh,
From a massively known actor? Yes.
cool.
George Clooney.
Doing what?
As Stan Marsh's gay dog in South Park.
Well, that was just genius to have him just go in and go bark, 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 bark. But here's the thing: South Park wasn't known at the time, and frankly, George Clooney sort of was. But I'm saying, if you look at Vin Diesel now, you know, when he goes in, it's like, "I am Groot, I am Groot, I am Groot," and it's like, okay, that's all he said. Vin friggin' Diesel, you know, of Fast and the Furious, Triple X, Riddick. I mean, all the things that man has done over the course of God knows how many. Like 3 decades, I guess we can say, almost at this point.
Yes, but knowing his acting skills, that's pretty much right on par. You know, less is more with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All he has to say is "I am Groot" or "family." That's the extent of anything you get from him that's potent.
Oh my God.
Anything else is just dragging the story down.
It's about family.
Family. Yeah.
That are Street Sharks.
That's right. He was also on the commercial for Street Sharks.
Wait, he did?
Yes, he was. Yeah, he did the commercial. He did the commercial for Street Sharks way back.
Wow.
Yeah, you can find that on YouTube as well.
Yeah, and you can tell it's him too, which is really freaking awesome. He's a big fan of Dungeons and Dragons. He's a big fan of a lot of stuff like that. So yes, I could 100% see it.
Actually, just to segue into what I wanted to mention real quick before the show's over. Funny that you brought up Guardians and like, you know, Ego and all that, because what I wanted to ask you guys was about Father's Day coming up this day. And I wanted to touch on either your favorite or your least favorite father figures in cinema.
Ooh.
Now, obviously, I think with a lot of what we've seen, Ego in the Guardians franchise, the long-awaited father of Peter Quill. Hate him if you want. I loved that character. Like, I would take Kurt Russell as a dad any day because he's just awesome.
I may have to go backwards. The worst father figure, I would say Kevin McAllister.
Kevin McAllister's dad?
Huh?
The parent?
Yeah, the father. Because think about it. Think of Home Alone. Why is it the mother was always the one that had to go back to get the son? Why can't he just say, "Look, honey,
did you see how many children they had on those vacations?"
Yeah, but she could have handled the children while he could have went back and got his son.
Right, but
That's
Catherine handled the children while
father.
she went and got the son.
And it would have been a redemption thing. Think about it. Why the mother had to go back for one child? Why couldn't the father go back?
Because you remember the movie, it was pretty much her and Kevin battling it out, and he was the one that said, you know, I wished I was alone by myself, and it's like, you know, she was the one that was like, you know, maybe you'll get your wish. So it was pretty much those two having the back and forth that brought that dynamic and why that story had to be told.
Yeah, but I feel so that was the weak cop out for a dad.
Well, no, I mean the dad's definitely a weak cop out. I mean he was just so inattentive.
Mhm.
You know,
Even doing the
so,
count at the end, still just he's just bad
now,
at math. All right.
Best dad ever.
yes, and we can't talk about TV shows, right?
I mean, if you want to talk TV shows, that's fine. I just think like TV shows, dads
Right.
are more prevalent. So I think dad
I was going to
characters in
say
cinema that
the
stand
best.
out are
Well,
probably a little bit harder to recognize. Like
the
obviously,
best.
with you two
Yeah.
watching Obi-Wan, Vader obviously comes to mind.
But
Well, his daddy Palpatine did watch out for him.
yeah, but as him as a father, he never knew about his children.
Mm.
Thought they died. So you gotta give the man some credit with
Oh,
that.
so that's an excuse just because you didn't know they exist?
Well, yeah, because if they hidden from you, how you supposed to really know that your kids are alive? So I have
Dad, you're alive all this time. I didn't know you were alive. Yeah, that's an excuse, Dad.
Yeah,
You
how
know.
close are you to the Force, and you can't tell who's got midichlorians and who doesn't?
Well, see, that's the other side of it too. Leia also, they don't really discuss this too much, but Leia had a very hard time forgiving her father for blowing up Alderaan.
yeah.
You know, the comics explored it a little bit, how she was finally able to like forgive him after like 10 years. But she watched her father blow up her planet, including what she thought was her father.
Oh, don't worry, I'm sure we'll get a series about that at some point too.
That's like some therapy stuff right there, man.
And it's coming
Yeah.
soon.
Therapy.
So.
I'd love to see a therapist in the Star Wars universe.
But a good father figure. And,
Okay, so basically you're saying
I mean, just from a comic book standpoint, there has to be a mention of Alfred Pennyworth.
yes.
yeah.
All right, regardless of bloodline or anything, it's kind of like what Yondu says in Guardians 2. It's like, you know, anybody could be your father, but it only takes one person to be your pappy. You know, or
Yeah.
something like that. And I'd say Alfred Pennyworth, as far as like all geekdom is concerned, is probably the father figure of the year every time.
Like, do you think someone could top that out of the films that we've seen with fathers?
Boy, I'd have to think about this one. I wish I'd given it some thought. I didn't even throw it on the fly like this.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's obviously comedy fathers, I think, that also play out pretty well. Especially if you're looking for a father that's maybe a little bit more relatable to you, you can probably watch them in a comedy more so than, say, a drama. Like,
Right.
say,
he got
Eugene
something.
Levy in the American Pie movies.
Yes, that would work.
He's a great dad. He's probably one of the most laid back, gets it, even though he's corny with his jokes, dad. Like, if I ever needed somebody to talk to me about the birds and the bees, it's like, I'll listen to you. I won't agree with everything you say, but I'll listen to you.
Well, also his character in the show Schitt's Creek.
Oh,
SCHITT for those of you on Zynga.
Double down on the dad.
He was Eugene Levy again, but he was a great character on that show, and he was a great caring father all the way through.
Which, when you think about the whole family background, it's
I got somebody.
hard to think of.
Okay, I have two, but go ahead.
Splinter from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I
Nice.
just thought about it. I was like, who was a good father figure? And then when I looked back, I was like, Splinter.
Well, to be fair, if you are isolated for all of your young life, and your dad pretty much teaches you how to kick anybody's butt who comes near you, yeah, I guess that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't
'Cause
exactly make it the greatest at a tea party, but it works.
And I was thinking about John McClane, but then after really thinking about it,
Oh,
like,
no.
No.
John McClane may be a great action character. He has got to be one of the worst dads possible.
He
I'm
has
sorry.
such a dysfunctional family on that. I mean, he saved his wife twice, and they still got divorced.
Yeah, and his
Well,
daughter's
was it
usually in danger.
actually
His
his
son
fault?
went into secret ops and everything, and
Yeah.
he's not a good dad.
but was
You know
it
what's gonna end up-
actually his fault? Can we say it was actually his fault?
What's that?
John McClane.
Yeah,
Yippee the Falcon.
he doesn't call, he doesn't write.
But
You know what I do?
Oh, okay, never mind.
crap. You know what's going to end up happening? I'm going to get like a solid gold answer at like 8:02. So in like I'm like, that's the damn it. You know, I mean, as far as TV dad goes, and this is not aged well, but arguably the greatest TV dad of all time was Cliff Huxtable. You know, in spite of what was going on, as a character, yes. But obviously, what was going on at the time, and obviously what happened there to Mr. Cosby himself. But growing up in the '80s, Cliff Huxtable was the predominant TV dad, far more than like the dad on Family Ties or anything else that was out there. You know, I mean, the Cosby Show was like the pure perfect dad.
I refuse that, and I will give you Danny Tanner.
Well, that was my. No. Here's the thing. No. Dave Coulier was the real father of those kids. That's why he stuck around. He has the same hair color as them. He knocked up Danny Tanner's wife 3 times and stuck around because they were secretly his kids. Did you ever hear that conspiracy theory, by the way?
I've heard
it. Quiet. Be quiet. He's quiet. No. I would have to say, and y'all may agree or disagree, Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh, yes. Oh, dude, yes. There was a couple of scenes. I mean, in this case here, obviously, you know, the one where Will's like, why don't he want me, man?
Yeah.
You know, when his father walks out on him again, that was prime.
Well, that's a single episode that shows you the worst dad and the best dad. So
but also, there was an episode, if you remember, where Will got hustled at the pool hall. At a pool bar. Yeah, at a pool hall. And then Uncle Phil comes in and just whips ass on that. You know, and
give me Lucille.
Give me Lucille.
What?
You know, oh my God.
And when Carlton and Will went to jail,
yes,
and they find out, and then they rushed in, and he was like, I am a judge.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Okay, Uncle Phil would probably definitely get it. But see, we're straying into TV a little heavy here.
Well, I'll give you someone that can be television and movies.
Please.
Homer Simpson.
Yeah.
I said best or worst dad. So
okay,
I will put him on the worst end. I mean,
I don't know. Peter figure. Dude, I think Peter Griffin is worse.
Yeah.
I think Peter Griffin is a worse father than Homer is.
Yeah.
Because Homer is stupid, Peter's dangerous.
Well, Homer has a heart.
Yeah.
It may be congealed.
Go up with a rhinoceros randomly.
Wait.
Yeah, Peter Griffin will randomly show up with a rocket launcher and like a Tyrannosaurus.
What about Stan's dad from South Park?
Randy Marsh.
Yeah,
Randy
Marsh.
Randy Marsh is a bad dad.
No, he's not as. I don't think he's as bad as Homer or Peter. But yeah, he's pretty rough on there, especially when he starts to get the drinking and gets to fighting.
Yeah, but basically, like the '80s gave us a lot of good TV dads. A lot of I guess even holdovers from like the '50s and '60s and '70s when like the ideas of family were supposed to be a little bit more unified, and there was supposed to be like. The dad was supposed to be like the ringleader, the head honcho, that sort of thing. It wasn't until we got into the later years that dads became the screw up and it became almost a little bit more realistic. And I think it started with Al Bundy.
By the way, I don't know if you knew about this, but they're making a Married with Children animated series.
Yes, with the original cast voicing.
And I think it's going to fail. I really do. I think it's going to be trash.
Look. If there were 2 dads I grew up on when I was a kid, it was Al Bundy and Homer Simpson. I know that explains a lot, but still. I at least want to see what they do with the Married with Children premise, because if you look at it, it was kind of ahead of its time. Now I almost want to see if they neuter it in any way, shape, or form.
That's what I'm wondering. Because you can't get away with some of the jokes now that you easily could have back in the 80s and 90s.
Envelope regardless.
Yeah.
That I want to see. I want to see exactly where they go with that. I want, my Al Bundy to really go ahead and just like go at it.
D, how about this one? We talked about this yesterday. What about Granddad from the Boondocks?
Oh yeah, I would say.
Oh,
thinking
rest
about
in peace,
it,
John Witherspoon.
Yeah. God bless you, John Witherspoon. Yeah.
He is the. I would say good dad because he stuck with those kids for how many years?
A lot.
Yeah.
You know, he got him
He's
out of
the
the city.
anti-Huxtable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but in a way where it's hard to say. Like you can't really put like you could put him as a negative, but then it's like more positives than negative
Mhm.
because of the stuff he says to those kids.
Right. If
Mm.
nothing, he's always just trying to make sure that Huey and Riley are out of trouble.
Yeah.
It's not his fault that they don't listen.
Huey does though. Riley not so much.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
rewatching
but if
Boondocks.
necessary, he plays out the bill.
Yeah. But kind of disappointed we never got that, you know, the true fourth season, the one with Aaron Magruder on HBO Max.
Yeah.
But
And I think Ryan is frozen.
yes, he is. He'll come back.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, John Witherspoon was great that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as on-screen dad, I don't know. I mean, I'll go back to this again. Piccolo.
Yeah.
No. Look, I'm
He
definitely
died-
more movie wise.
I would say Splinter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's the only.
I think so.
Well,
Yeah.
no, okay. If we're thinking like, you know, movies. I'm just gonna throw this out there. Maybe it makes sense, maybe it doesn't. Dumbledore.
No.
No, you wouldn't count him as like a father figure to
Hell no.
Harry?
Let's analyze this for a second. We let these kids get into mortal danger repeatedly. In the first book, he, without telling the kids, you know, the kids what was going on, the kids were in front of a gigantic three-headed Cerberus, fought Voldemort, you know, the betrayer of, you know, the teacher of the Defense Against the Dark Arts, Professor Quill. They almost got strangled, and that was their first year. That was their first year at the school. You know, and then basically there's a tree on the premise that eats people. You know, there's a basilisk underneath that your dumbass doesn't even realize is there. You know, then you got a multi-murderer supposedly, you know, roaming around trying to kill your star pupil. You let back, the literal like worst of mass murderers. I mean, dude, no. I almost wonder if possibly Hogwarts would have been better off if Dumbledore didn't freaking exist and you just give the job to McGonagall. That's a conversation we should have at some point. But if McGonagall ran Hogwarts, she probably would have been a lot more forthcoming than Dumbledore would have been.
All right.
Have you guys seen the movie Not Triple X.
Yes.
Not Triple X. It's a film called Project X.
Yes, we were talking about it last time with Miles Teller.
Mm-hmm.
The father in the film for the boy that's throwing a birthday party.
The one who infiltrates the party?
Nah. The one that left and told his son to follow instructions.
Oh.
And then when he got back, he noticed his Mercedes is in the pool.
Wow.
And
I got one for you for worst father.
All right.
Freddy Krueger.
He never had a child.
He technically did have a daughter, so he was a father.
Oh.
Weird. All right.
But imagine if that was like your dad, and your dad, like, you grew up barely knowing who he was, and you find out he's the spiritual killer of children on an entire block of, like, wherever. Like,
that would be awkward.
Yeah. It's like, we talk about the Street Sharks again.
I just had to pull it up. It was basically we got to wrap this up here. So, but yes, we talked about Street Sharks. I figured I'd close that out. Sorry, Ryan. We got to end this and we got to close up shop here.
Yeah.
Real quick, 20 seconds. You got any final thoughts?
Ryan?
He's just so moving.
Yes.
Okay. So, all right. So anyway, we're going to wrap this up. And Ryan is just like, he's out. I am done. Oh, wait, there he is. I'll bring him back in.
God damn it.
We apologize for any inconvenience.
I'm good. We can sign off. We can, you all can do your Father's Day stuff. I have no dad, so I don't care. So let's go.
Oh,
Ooh.
ooh, don't say that.
Well, behalf of basically us,
Happy.
I got nothing to go with that. I'm just gonna say goodnight.
Good
I don't
night,
know where the
ladies.
hell to go with that
Yeah,
one.
that just went dark.
I'm just stumped, man. I'm just freaking stumped.
That just
All
went
right,
straight dark.
Exactly. Yeah. So, good night, everybody.
Yeah.
Bye.
Happy Father's Day.